you while you're gone.
In 2004, Greg R. Bexley's 13-part US fantasy horror drama series Kingdom Hospital was based on a script by Stephen King, but not of any of his stories. Bexley already adapted a King script not based on his books back in 1999 with the 4-hour TV movie The Storm of the Century. There, an eerie, seemingly all-powerful stranger haunts a small island town during a storm, in which the islanders constantly address each other by their full names, even the children. After a few threats and murders from the seemingly devil himself, he demands one of the children as a voluntary gift so they can live on in peace, and the residents agree. He also apparently only needs the consent of one parent, as the protesting father of the child is simply overruled. The stupid, completely illogical boar is set on the same island as Dolores Claiborne and is, thanks to even worse competition, seriously one of the better King adaptations for television. And since 2020, it's actually not that far-fetched anymore, where our real spineless order follower messes put on slave masks and took forced tests for no reason and simply cowardly looked away when their children and elderly were tortured and partially killed by the seemingly all-powerful, conscienceless regime devils, also by threats, blackmail and coercion in exchange for their old normal life. And today, like the fictional islanders' mirror image, just keep silent about it, simulate social life, suppress the selling of their souls and pretend as if nothing happened, since they had no choice, sure.
I think of you in my dreams. You never know just what you mean to me.
And 2 years later, with the also 4-hour King meal Rose Red, in which only familiar things are reheated for the 100th time and served in bland TV style, where people with psychic powers, thanks to invitation and payment, spend the night in the haunted mansion of an oil tycoon, which has claimed several lives for almost 100 years, because a parapsychologist finally wants to provide official proof of the existence of ghosts. During the process, the group gets decimated until an autistic girl overcomes the threat. 2003, Bexley's The Diary of Ellen Rimbauer disenchants the audience. An even more boring prequel, based on Ridley Pearson's same-named 2001 novel, which King only produced. It's about the landlady of the Rose Red haunted mansion, which suddenly disappeared in the 1950s.
Bye bye baby, don't be long. I worry about you while you're gone.
For Kingdom Hospital, the script was based on the first two seasons, 1994 and 97, with 4 one-hour episodes each. Lars von Trier's inspired by David Lynch's Twin Peaks, also 2 seasons, 1990 and 91. Excellent Danish miniseries Reget, translating in German Das Reich, which has rightly won several awards. A colloquial abbreviation for the, in Denmark, real existing Reichshospital. Therefore, thanks God and completely necessary by the Reich Ministry of Truth in our since 49 real existing democracy simulation, he of course immediately hastily retitled in Geister, which means ghosts. Later Hospital of Ghosts to make the confusion complete. That's also the reason why our neighboring country, France, here in the 4th German Reich, Ghost, is also called Frank Ghost and not Frank Reich, as with the Nazis. And in Germany we don't use in our Lord's Prayer the term Kingdom Come, with us Dein Reich komme, again this awful Nazi word, but of course changed all Bibles to Ghost Come, not to be confused by God with the Nazis. Whatever. The unusually staged horror satire is about a notorious malingerer and spiritualist, which discovers a conspiracy of Satanists centered around the reincarnation of a doctor who once killed his illegitimate daughter, which now, like like others, haunts as a restless spirit. Or an arrogant foreign doctor who despises the new home and all the while tries to cover up a malpractice using even voodoo zombie poison to get rid of a colleague. 25 years later, in 2022, Regret Exodus is also an extremely interesting final 5-hour third season. Again similar to Twin Peaks, there the final third season appeared after 26 years, in 2017. Here a real-world sleepwalker finds herself in the fictional hospital, which she knows from TV, investigating the aftermath of the fatal power loss at the end of season 2. Regret was back in 2001, already a kind of template for the 6-part paranormal US series drama All Souls, about a Boston hospital of the same name. The broadcast of the dreary cliché parade around tormentors as a result of moronic horror experiments, like throwing rats into open wounds of a doctor after the loss of his sons during the Civil War, went quite rightly because unimaginative, uninteresting and puke boring due to the lack of viewers already after episode 2 in hiatus and then later cancelled completely.
I think of you in my dreams. You never know just what you mean to me. To me.
Kingdom Hospital moves the action more or less true to the original with 15 45-minute episodes in a US hospital in Maine. Many of the original story elements as well as the names of some characters have been retained, but adds quite a few supporting ones. The Anteater and also a new main character, a famous artist, which is based on King's own experience after he was hit by a minivan, the driver distracted by a dog on the backseat in June 1999. That's what you call self-promotion in a story. Anteater and artist with undefined abilities, sometimes more, sometimes less, just as needed by the plot, are now super important because reasons. Of course at the expense of the actual main characters, which are now hardly recognizable. So the textbook definition of fan fiction. Stephen Kingdom Hospital.
But in a repeat of a Stephen King-like horror story.
Oh really?
2 days ago, in a scene of horror out of a Stephen King novel.
Is harmless and pleasing most of the time, rarely leaves the worn-out path, especially in terms of staging and dialogue, has little to no character development, too few interesting ideas of its own, solves complex situations with cheap shortcuts like time travel pulled out of its ass to cheat a baseball game, discount Jesus and the wonders of lazy writing. In the final there's another time travel and often presents the story clumsy and flat in your face. Some episodes, especially in the second half, which drags like hell, are obviously just filler. And there are constantly completely unnecessary explanatory speeches and annoying repetitions through flashbacks.
Hello, how are you?
Now that I know there's no second season where I have to suffer through, much better. Thanks for asking. Supposedly satirical elements like the embarrassing singing often seem forced and completely out of place. With their ghost stuff and the shameless merchandising for their leftovers, Team King Bexley clearly can't take a joke. Hey, by the way, I've done reviews of those too. More on the director in the Greg R. Bexley retrospective Dark Angel.